This presentation is an in-depth study on Albertsons LLC by Michael LeBlanc, Ramey Lewis Dansby, Lacey Marsalic, and Jessica McHill. This presentation will cover an overview of Albertsons, their history and management style, ethical and social responsibility, their position within the global marketplace, their strategy, organizational structure, management style, and control techniques. It will also include an in-depth SWOT analysis and recommended performance improvement for the company in the future. Albertsons celebrated their 75th birthday last year. Now in their 26th year of operation, they are one of the largest operating grocery and pharmaceutical stores, both local and nationally. Under their umbrella, they house 18 well-known entities across the United States. This brings them to a total of 2,000 stores and growing within 33 states and the District of Columbia. Their mission is simple. We want to run really great stores and provide great customer service. With an IPO pending, Albertsons LLC is well on their way to increasing the reality of this mission on a global level. With their continued growth, the leadership team is making great gains with the community and their employees by providing great service internally and externally, such that they have another pending merger on the horizon.
After dropping out of college as a business major during the Great Depression and working for 10 years at Safeway, Joe Albertson opened his first Albertsons store in Boise, Idaho in 1939 with $12,500. Being new to the market business, he understood the need to bring something innovative to his store. He introduced Scratch Bakery, an automatic donut machine, one of the first magazine racks in the country, double-dipped ice cream cones, and fresh popcorn and roasted nuts, all of which gave him a competitive advantage. He recorded a net profit of almost $10,000 for the year, almost breaking even of his initial investment. His motto was simple: give the customers the merchandise they want at a price they can afford, complete with lots of tender, loving care. By the following year, Mr. Albertson had opened 2 additional stores in Idaho. Thus the chain began. Consumers seemed to be catching on quickly to his style of service and the value of his brand. Determined to see his vision become a reality, in 1945, Albertsons became Albertsons Incorporated. 6 more stores were opened in Idaho by 1947, all of which included a new poultry processing operation. The Dutch Girl became the first trademark for the stores in 1949 when the Dutch Girl ice cream plant opened in Boise, Idaho. Thus the Albertson legacy began. As you can see in the clip, Joe Albertsons was a philanthropist, and his caring nature was experienced by his customers and his employees. This resonated throughout the company until 2001, when the board of directors decided to go with an external hire for its new chief executive officer after its current CEO retired. As Lawrence R. Johnston came on board, big changes were in Albertsons' future. He introduced the organization to a flattened management style, giving him more control as he decreased the layers of hierarchy. His decision led to the decrease in administrative positions, division offices, and underperforming stores. This explains the surge of Albertsons store closures throughout various locations as he focused on restructuring their stores and providing more services and a variety of products as they dared to reach superstore status. Unfortunately, the decision to hire an external CEO left a negative impact on its employees as it led to the divestiture of Albertsons Inc.'s assets. Bob Miller, a storybook example of success due to good management and good work ethics, came to the rescue. His 30-year journey with Albertsons began as a store manager and grew to executive vice president of retail operations. He left for a while and brought his resume with multiple executive and CEO positions. He returned to Albertsons as the executive chair and CEO in 2006 after the Johnston debacle. Under his leadership, the store was restructured under a tall organizational structure, decentralizing his leadership team and decreasing the span of control. This has given his leadership staff and employees a greater degree of empowerment. Albertsons LLC endeavors to practice ethically as seen in their stand against human trafficking and slavery. In a display of corporate social responsibility, they have vowed not to involve themselves with any supplier that is associated with any form of these crimes. Per Albertsons, in accordance with the law, each of our merchandise suppliers has been asked to certify that the materials incorporated into the merchandise they supply complies with applicable laws regarding slavery and human trafficking. Albertsons has shared this business practice with their employees by informing them of this prohibition and implementing required training. In an effort to support the community and the environment, Albertsons companies has endeavored to find innovative ways to extend their support. In addition to their own recycling practices, they encourage community recycling by providing recycling bins in their stores and promoting the use of recyclable grocery bags. In an effort to stamp out hunger and bring awareness to food waste, they joined the U.S. Food Challenge and the EPA Food Recovery Challenge, initiatives that encourages participants to increase diversion of food waste away from landfills to better uses such as composting, feeding livestock, and feeding hungry people. They also yield local support to their communities in the form of making charitable donations and providing fundraising opportunities to organizations who support home relief, education, and the more. Albertsons began its venture with sustainable seafood after they merged with Safeway. The use of sustainable seafood helps to preserve our aquatic food source. Albertsons takes on a global approach as they monitor global food sustainability issues and make assortment decisions in the seafood they offer. This is done by obtaining seafood from local farmers, supporting programs, and taking advice from sources like FishWise and Fish Watch. By prioritizing their commitment to providing sustainable seafood, Albertsons gives itself a competitive advantage with conservative customers who understand the importance of making choices that contribute to the sustainability of our food sources both locally and globally. Less wild caught seafood is seen in Albertsons stores and stores under the Albertsons banner. Aquaculture
Company strategy and control techniques. Albertsons uses a control technique called Six Sigma. The central idea behind Six Sigma is that if you can measure how many defects you have in a process, you can systematically figure out how to eliminate them and get as close to zero defects as possible. Six Sigma quality is what drives the strong foundation of Albertsons. By researching each category, Albertsons can make their company very strong and unbreakable. This strategy is all about pleasing the customer's wants and needs. Albertsons LLC consists of all of the banner stores titled Albertsons on the storefront. NAI consists of Acme Markets, Jewel, Shaw's, Star Markets, and all pharmacy operations. Online advertising through Facebook, social media, and browser ads help the store through its easily accessible web page and online orders. Online shopping is so user-friendly that it has become an international phenomenon. You can buy anything from a house to the groceries you may stock in your house. Each individual Albertsons store has the ability to receive any type of online ordering. As we all know, customer service is a major part of a business. Albertsons takes customer service very seriously and tries to meet their needs, whatever they may be, on a daily basis. Each store is competing for customer satisfaction and keeps the store clean and presentable. By having competitive pricing, including a rewards program, this helps to guarantee a great customer base.
Boasting more than 2,300 retail stores, Albertsons Incorporated is one of the largest grocers in the world. As a company, the brand recognition serves them well. Going hand in hand with brand recognition is Albertsons customer loyalty. With more than 75 years in the business, they've had plenty of time to collect a loyal customer base. Marketing strategy also includes things like preferred savings card and pharmacy services to help keep customers coming back. As a full-service grocer, Albertsons becomes a one-stop shop for customers. Meeting all or most of consumer needs under one roof ensures that people keep coming back, even for only ease of use. While Albertsons may have longevity backing their brand, there have certainly been new players introduced to the market. Price competitiveness is something Albertsons needs to and is putting at the forefront of their strategic plan. Currently, Albertsons is no competition for bargain markets like Winco and Walmart. Another weakness of Albertsons, which they will hopefully turn into strengths and opportunities, is stability. Albertsons is in the process of making several market changes, including acquisitions, cuts, and leadership process restructuring. While change can be good, too much at once can be difficult for such a large company to pull off well. With all of these changes, customer perception can also pose a weakness. Albertsons sold 168 stores in 8 states in the last year. Unless customers have an interest in researching why the Albertsons locations are closing, many are likely to assume the grocery giant is in financial trouble and maybe even going out of business completely. Oregon is an excellent example. In our state, there are only 16 Albertsons stores remaining. Next to competitor Safeway with 4 times as many locations at 64, Albertsons is at risk of fading to the back of customers' minds. Albertsons has several things hanging on the horizon. One of the biggest is their plan to become a publicly traded company. While their IPO is currently on hold, Albertsons is hoping to initiate by the week of Thanksgiving with potential earnings listed at as much as $1.95 billion. Also in the works is Albertsons' plan to purchase several Haggen locations that they sold to the competitor earlier this year. This gives Albertsons an opportunity to reclaim loyal customers who hopefully haven't moved on to a satisfying relationship with another grocer. If all of that isn't enough change and opportunity for one company, Albertsons is also revamping their quality program by initiating Six Sigma quality into every corner of the company. While aiming for quality and efficiency, Albertsons has restructured their leadership team as well, flattening their org chart and striving for streamlined communication in their management team. As Albertsons works towards their IPO, they already are experiencing the roller coaster that is the stock market. Hoping to sell at $23 to $26 a share, Albertsons was projected at less than $20, which is why they postponed their IPO. As a company that has been privately owned since its inception, this is a big move for Albertsons with significant risk involved. Also threatening Albertsons' success is their competition. There are bargain brands such as Winco and Walmart that are beating them at price, other neighborhood grocers like Safeway, which may or may not be beating them in customer perception, dependability, and then there's the online market, which is altogether a new threat. With online retail giant Amazon rolling out their Amazon Prime Now service, they are pushing the envelope for online shopping and competitors will be scrambling to keep up, Albertsons included. Between the IPO, leadership changes, introduction of Six Sigma, and sales acquisitions, Albertsons is trying to hold a lot of pieces together, and so they've become their own biggest threat. Pulling it all off successfully while continuing to be a brand leader will be Albertsons' greatest challenge.
Recently, Albertsons has closed quite a few stores in Oregon and Washington, and this led many to believe that Albertsons was going under. At around 2,300 stores owned by the national grocers, a few here and there may not seem like much to them, but to the average consumer it can be seen as troubles on the horizon. To improve brand awareness, we would suggest streamlining their name and logo. Albertsons owns so many different storefronts. A way to identify them all with the parent company could bring brand awareness and more trust. Albertsons is in the process of revamping their competitiveness through pricing. In the past, they have used only sales and coupons to show price competitiveness. It would behoove them to have everyday low prices like their competitors do. The average shopper is now basing their shopping choices on ease of use. The coupon craze is fading due to stricter rules from all major retailers. No longer are competitor coupons accepted everywhere, nor are expired coupons accepted as they were in the 90s. Also, coupon doubling is no longer widely accepted. Shoppers want low prices every day without having to travel to multiple grocery locations. Online shopping is also huge, and Albertsons should take a look at what Kroger's is doing in regards to online shopping with parking lot pickup. In the Pacific Northwest, the commute is getting longer due to price increases of living in the city. People are moving farther and farther out. The ability to simply pull in and out of the parking lot and having all your week's groceries is a huge advantage that Kroger's is building. After extensively researching Albertsons LLC, we have learned quite a bit about the second largest grocery chain, one of the last remaining grocery businesses that is still privately owned but about to go public any day now. To pay down their increasing debt of $12 billion makes us wonder if they will remain in control of the majority of shares as their biggest competitor does. Walmart is often thought of as a family-owned business, but in fact has been involved in the stock market since 1970, just a year after opening its first store. Will Albertsons be as successful in the market? I know I will definitely be watching. In just the last few months, they have purchased most of Safeway and are currently in the bid process of buying back 33 Haggen stores. Perhaps this will give them the needed IPO increase they have been looking for. Team 2 had a good time doing this research, and we hope that you enjoy watching our presentation. Thank you.